Man, Starfield still hasn't finished downloading. I started the download at like, what, 8 hours ago, and it's still not done. I mean, my internet connection is shit, honestly. It's garbage. But that doesn't change the fact that this game is taking a very long time. Games are just too big. They're just too big these days, man. Like, that plus Baldur's Gate 3 is like a quarter of a terabyte just for 2 games. It's fucking insane. It's like, as I say, a quarter of my SSD taken up by 2 fucking video games. I don't know how that's allowed. I don't know how that's okay, honestly. But I guess it is okay. I guess it is acceptable. We're gonna go for the shark here, I think. You want to go and see what was going. I wanted to go to the shark in the first place, but somehow ended up getting completely off track with that. But this time we're going to get it right, I promise you. I promise. To be fair, I shouldn't be playing Starfield anyway. Like, I haven't finished Act 1 in Baldur's Gate 3 yet, and that's a very big game, and Starfield's a very big game, and I just don't have time for all these very big games anymore, dude. You know what I mean? This is why I play a lot of indie stuff. I mean, aside from indie, just having better ideas and usually more poignant stories and shit, which is honestly what I'm here for. Aside from that, like, I can just get through them in like 10 to 20 hours, and I'm not having to commit like years of my life to finishing a single video game. It's fucking ridiculous. I shouldn't be complaining about getting more content, more bang for your buck or whatever, but I'm gonna. I'm fucking gonna. Unless it's a game that I absolutely adore. Although having said that, like, I absolutely adore Dark Souls, and I felt like Elden Ring was too long. You know what I mean? Like, I think I just don't think any game justifies being that long. Maybe it's just me, but I would rather have like a really tightly tailored experience that lasts, you know, a quarter of the time, and that I can replay and have fun with again, over over some big 80-hour like meandering whatever. I've made my point against open world time wasters plenty times at this point. Speaking of time wasting though, what the fuck am I doing right now? I feel like it should be out this way. Like, I feel like the game wants me to like go across the sludge in order to get, because like there's no water anywhere, and we're looking for a shark, so surely we're meant to be looking for water, right? Surely, theoretically, it might be. I don't know if it's that direction, but we need to go from that fire pillar over there, perhaps. We're not quite far enough into the area to start exploring it. That's probably it. That's probably it, honestly. Because we headed towards the trees off in that direction. We never went to the right over here, I don't think. So it would make sense if that was where we need to be, I think. Oh yeah, I mean, it straight up says here, left to trees, right to docks. Okay, to the docks then. I should have got that I hadn't been in this direction from the fact that the tower thing is still lit, and when I have been to them, they're not anymore. That should have been my first clue in this whole thing, really. I might be being a bit cocky here by not taking shelter, but I've actually never died to the rain, and I'm kind of intrigued as to what happens when you do. So, like, even if this goes badly for me, it will at least be a learning experience. Oh, I just got some. Just before I got into shelter, then I got a little heartbeat pulse, which I think I have had before when I've been on the verge of dying to the rain. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. Alright, I guess we go this way. Still not seeing the docks part of this docks, to be honest with you. Speaking of Starfield, literally while I've been recording, and thankfully OBS doesn't pick these up, but I've been getting Steam notifications from a friend of mine who has just been repeatedly starting the game, which makes me think it's maybe not doing great. I don't know, maybe he's just resetting for settings and stuff, it's possible, but it's also possible that the game is just crashing repeatedly on him, which Baldur's Gate 3 did to me earlier today actually, so I mean I can't sort of play the high ground here and be like, well, Larian put out a really solid RPG with no issues. Why can't Bethesda do that? Because Larian very much didn't either, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. It will definitely be within my top 10 for this year, for sure. I like those sort of games a great deal, but I think anyone who's played Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 won't be as surprised at what Baldur's Gate 3 is offering as the people who are sort of newer to the... Oh, that was fucking pure luck, that was. Did not know that was there. Yeah, I feel like it is just like the Divinity Original Sin games that Larian also made, with a bit more content. There's nothing really like mind-blowing and new about Baldur's Gate 3. As I say, it's very impressive just because of the sheer amount of shit in it. I'm not knocking it at all, but it still has bugs. It's still like there's still, even though it has technically left early access, it still kind of feels like it is in early access based on there's some audio clips that are clearly still placeholder. They're not like someone will be talking and then suddenly a voice line will just be like of lower quality than the previous ones they were saying. So like it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I think people are just hungry for big single player experiences, I think is all it comes down to, and they're getting one, and it's a good one. Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely that. I just think maybe people have been sleeping on, you know, like the original Sin games, Pillars of Eternity, Tyranny, all these other games that have been doing similar things, just to a slightly less grand scale for years in recent memory. It's all I'm saying is it's not new, you know? It's not new. Which neither is Starfield, for that matter. Starfield is just No Man's Sky with Skyrim mixed in, which I suppose, you know, putting the Skyrim-y vibes into No Man's Sky is a change of pace, so you know, fair play to them, I suppose. Oh yeah, this is where we're heading. This is the landmark, right? I've not been singing enough, I know, but I just really can't be arsed fully exploring this area. It's so big. Oh. However... Oh, Rhino! He was one of my favourite wrestlers as a kid. Honestly, like, I haven't watched professional wrestling, or... I mean, it's not really professional wrestling, is it? It's sports entertainment wrestling. It's not real wrestling at all, but you know what I mean. I haven't watched WWE or equivalent for over 20 years. On a regular basis. I have seen the occasional odd bit and piece. I'm not completely out of the loop, but it's not been sort of my thing for a very long time. But that doesn't stop me being that guy who will just like bring up Chris Jericho for absolutely no reason in conversation. You know what I mean? I am that guy who will just be who for absolutely unprovoked will just be like, God, the New Age Outlaws were a fucking great tag team. And I can only apologise for that. What? Oh. Okay. Can we climb this? This isn't a climby tree, it was just a tree that we grew for fun, I guess? For fun, I guess. It might make it that we can climb this now, though. I don't even know if I'm meant to be climbing this. It sort of feels like I'm meant to be, just because it's the landmark in the area and it looks potentially climbable. I think maybe if we go up this side, get up onto this pipe. This is our inn over here. So then we can get up onto this thing, and then across onto this thing, and then jump around this pillar. Like, I don't know if this is where we're meant to be going, but it's definitely somewhere we can go. And, you know, half the fun of the video game is the exploration, and we can pet the bison, which is pretty cool, I think. And I thought this was... What is this? What is this thing? I thought it was like a donkey when we rescued it, but its legs are too long and its neck's too, like, short and wide. Is it just a baby? Is that just a baby bison? I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. There is a spirit up from here. I'm not quite sure how we get up from here, though. Growing this tree might have helped. Doesn't look like the safest thing to stand on, though. It looks like maybe over there's some sort of method of getting higher. I'm a little bit concerned of falling off here, though, because I don't think it's going to reset me. I think it will just drop me to the bottom and I'll have to climb back up again. And getting this far has been hard enough, honestly. I can't get up onto there, can I? Oh, the memory's in that direction, but the spirit's like directly above me, apparently? I can't like run up that pillar, can I? Can I run up these pillars? No. This is what I call puzzle platforming, because it's puzzling how you platform. Oh, I tell you what, we might be able to run up though. Aha! Okay. Smart. Do we still need to go higher? We do, but we know the secret now. See, some of these spirits, like, there were like, what, 2 or 3 that I just found from just running across, like one that was just in the middle of nowhere, guarded by some dudes who despawned. I didn't comment on that at the time, but that was a bit weird. I think I was talking about something else. Nope, nope, no, nope, 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 nope. Oh, thank fuck. Thank fuck. And then 2 more that were just like in the ground, which I guess is a mechanic that I have not known about previously, so that is missable, but even so, like, compared to climbing this entire thing, just for presumably 1 spirit, there does seem to be a bit of an imbalance, you know what I mean? Oh, there is more up, actually. Maybe this isn't just for 1 spirit. I mean, yeah, I know where the spirit is, it's down there, but it doesn't look like there's another one any further up. What's the advantage to going further up from here? Is it just like climbing a mountain just to say you did? You know what I mean? You can't actually get any higher than this, I don't think, actually. This is gross, though, I would like to point out. I got it right, though. Right? I got it? I didn't get it. Okay, do we want to land on here and then just shoot across to it? Do we want to jump across to it? Okay, there we go. For a fucking vulture. A vulture's a particularly pleasant animal to have in your community. I suppose the scavengers, they don't really... I think they do kill things, to be fair, but... yeah, they mostly scavenge and eat rotten meat and stuff. I guess they help the old circle of life. Help with clean-up duty. I don't know. Oh. Oh. Oh, hold up. I didn't realise I couldn't just walk any further. Coming down here was a mistake, wasn't it? I need to go back up, don't I? I need more height in order to clear this gap, don't I? And we can do it from here? Fuck. Shit. It's a lot quicker getting back up here the second time. I realised I can just climb the scratchy pipes. Actually, a lot less difficult than I initially thought, although that jump gets me every time for some reason. That jump's a tricksy little fucker for sure. Can I... Okay, so that's death. Which isn't ideal. This is actually... Oh, do we go that way? Do we climb across those rocks? No, we definitely head towards the next torch, which is that direction. Is that where we came from? Is that somewhere we've been? Or what is that? What is that direction over there? I guess we can... We can fuck that jump up is what we can do. Oh, it put us here. Cool. And then from there we can jump across to here. And from here, presumably, it's going to let us go the rest of the way, is it? Maybe? No. Huh. I actually don't know what to do right now. Do we go in that direction? Is it any easier to go in that direction? Give me a minute, I'll work this out. I promise I'll get there in the end. Surely we're not meant to platform across those little blocks. That's not gonna achieve anything. Oh, and that's death. Okay. Hey, after us. Where do I go? Hey, after us. After us. Hey. Hey, where do I go? What are you expecting from me right now, after us? It's not another one of those deals where we tunnel underground, is it? Where there's a secret tunnel hole that I'm not seeing. Like the tower was just for the spirit. It's not impossible. It's not impossible that that's the case. It feels weird if that's the case, but it's not impossible. Definitely can't just make it across this jump, can we? Can you just let me get down? Do you really have to keep teleporting me back to the fucking top over and over again? I don't think it's really necessary, is it? Yeah, this area is pretty cryptic. Do we just... Can we just... Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Fair enough. Fair enough. I spent way too much time in that tower, but you can't blame me. To be fair, I think I did see this little gated path earlier and just forgot to come back to it. So that is sort of on me, granted, but rude. But I don't really have an excuse, is where I was going with that sentence. There is nothing I can really do or say to make it up to you. Alas, I wasted your time, and all I can do is beg for your forgiveness. Not to be over dramatic or anything. This area, man. This area sucks dick. Like not in a cool way. Like in a really, like, it sucks like stinky unwashed dick, you know what I mean? It's... Do I say this? It sucks dick with 3 years of aged cock cheese built up under the foreskin. That's what it's... That's what it's... I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for that mental image. We have finally escaped back into the horrible poison rain area though, so that's good? Question mark? Question mark acceptable? Can we pet the vulture? I think we can just pet every spirit and like... That's fine, I guess. All animals are worthy to someone. But like, I don't know. It's less endearing to pet like a cockroach than it is to pet a dog, you know what I mean? Ferris wheel! I was not looking at the foreground at all. Twice I was not, like, even though I knew that there was danger around here, I was still just staring at the Ferris wheel in the distance. I just got excited by the Ferris wheel. I know it's not gonna work, and at best it'll be a obnoxious climbing puzzle, and at worst it will be nothing. But Ferris wheel. It's pretty cool, right? Honestly, all Ferris wheels are kind of underwhelming because I went on the biggest Ferris wheel in the world many years ago when I was visiting Japan, glorious Nippon. So, like, why bother with any Ferris wheel after that? You know, I've seen the best one. But here we are. I don't know where I'm going. I was heading for the Ferris wheel, but then I found a hole in the floor and got excited that I found something. I'm less excited that I found something now. My excitement has been severely assuaged. I should probably walk a bit more carefully in these areas, but I'm never expecting the slime to just be like there. You know what I mean? It's very close. YMCA. Are we? Okay, we're at the Ferris wheel. This took us to the Ferris wheel. I might have missed some stuff over by those big water tank things over there, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. This is going to be one of those games that I think I probably will end up coming back to and 100%ing in my own time. But just for the channel, I think I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna sort of get through it at a sensible pace and not waste a load of time on... Wait, is this turning? Oh, it's just turning back and forth very gently, I think. We definitely have to climb it though, right? Like 100% we have to climb it. Brilliant. Exactly to plan. That was even more to plan. That was like the secret bonus plan. The plan that I didn't let the audience in on, so they think everything's going wrong, but then it turns out at the last minute that I'd planned for it all to go wrong, and I had an extra plan. You know, like all good action movies ever. All good heist movies ever have something like that going on, right? I guess we go across now, huh? And then... Oh, I didn't think we'd be able to walk up this one. Yeah, it's just a spirit up here, but you know what? I enjoyed my time climbing the Ferris wheel. And I'm glad I saved the snake. I'm glad I saved the slippery snake friend. Snakes are cool. I'm not sure if I'd ever like have a pet snake, because even though I know you can tame them and stuff, and they are, I guess, fairly intelligent, I just don't know if I wouldn't trust it to just not crush and eat me in my sleep. You know what I mean? You know, if we're talking a big, obviously like a little grass snake or something isn't going to do something like that, but if you have like a boa constrictor or something as a pet, like that's just danger waiting to happen, right? Like, I know even dogs can turn on their owners, but dogs, I feel like, and cats, and, you know, more conventional pets like those, horses and the like, I feel like they're more intelligent than a snake, right? So they can be domesticated better, whereas a snake is just like, I mean, the term lizard brain exists for a reason, you know what I mean? They're pure lizard brain, they run on instinct. Maybe I'm doing snakes a massive disservice by saying that. I probably am. I've never had a pet snake, nor have I ever known anyone personally who has a pet snake, so I really can't comment on that. And yeah, I am anyway. That's the horrors of having a platform on the internet, I suppose. Small platform in my case, obviously, but you know, nonetheless, just an opportunity to just speak unfiltered like this means you just spout some shit sometimes. You know what I mean? Absolutely no context or reason to come to some of the conclusions I come to, but I come to them. I come to them, all right. I really hate this area, by the way. I don't like the forest area did this a lot, and this is, I guess, still the same. It's a different sub area, but it is still the same overall arching space as the forest area, and it just seems to be a reoccurring theme that, hey, fight 1,000,000 of these dudes at once. Honestly, it smells a little bit of bad game design. Like, it's a cool thing to do once, to sort of look how massively outnumbered you are, fight against the overwhelming odds sort of thing, fair enough. But if you just keep doing it, like, it becomes less imposing because you know you can beat it. And it just becomes like a bit of a chore to grind through them all, so, like... Yeah, not a fan of that, honestly. I'd rather the game, like... Since the combat is, let's face it, pretty lackluster in this game, you run around and you spam L1 until everything's dead. And if something grabs you, you mash A, because if you do that, they literally can't actually hurt you. Given that, I think they should keep combat situations to a minimum and just focus more on the platforming. I think that would have been a smarter move. I mean, I know combat isn't super common and the platforming does take precedence for the most part, but there's definitely more of it than I think is wise. Let's put it that way. Especially since there's no boss fights in the game, right? So every time you're doing combat, you're fighting just basic dudes that you shoot at. Like, the most complex thing is sometimes one of them has armor on the front and you have to pull the bullet back at them from behind, and that's it. That's the complexity of the combat. And a simple combat system can be used efficiently if you have a boss with interesting mechanics that play around that and utilize that well. I mean, there's plenty of basic platformers where all you do is jump on enemies that have interesting boss fights, but this game doesn't have that, so instead all your combat is just a nothing burger, which is a shame. It's like, in that case, why bother having combat at all in your game? You could really have just, as I say, kept it to an absolute bare minimum, an occasional fight to like perhaps almost as a boss fight is like fight a group of enemies before you save a major spirit or whatever, or just, as I say, not have it at all. Just be done with it. Just make it a pure atmospheric platformer thing. Speaking of atmospheric platformer things, already like this area. I always like underwater zones in games. It speaks to I think I've mentioned this before on the channel, but I am hydrophobic. I don't like large bodies of water at all. I try to avoid boat trips and the like as much as possible. Well, that wasn't very well hidden, was it? But I think because of that, it makes areas like this like more intimidating, more oppressive, scarier, if you like, to me. But also, like, it emphasizes the good parts, the beauty of it as well, I think, just because, I don't know. That's how it feels to me. Like, I really like the aesthetics of this sort of zone. Even though it's pretty spooky. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, man, but if I say enough words, it makes it sound like I know what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to keep talking, Works for me in most parts of my life, so why not here? The jump mechanics are heightened considerably in this area. The air dash is honestly like a pure rocket boost. It becomes very hard to control. So this could make for some interesting... This could be an interesting mix-up for the platforming. It could also potentially be an interesting mix-up for the combat, to a degree. So maybe they are... Maybe I was too hasty to say what I said earlier. I don't know what this is doing, by the way. I've only just, like, in this video, noticed that there's these golden shoots everywhere that you can grow into trees in the outside world, or little fronds here in the water. I don't know if that's achieving anything, or if it's just purely a opportunity to feel like you're doing something, a feel-good moment. Look, I'm returning some life to the world. This is honestly horrifying, like the sort of umbilical cord imagery of all this. People tethered to the bottom of the sea by tubes of some sort. Pretty scary stuff. But no, as I say, any game with this sort of environment, I always enjoy. Like, one of my favourite horror games, possibly my favourite horror game, in fact, is Soma. It was made by the Amnesia people, I think. But despite the fact that Amnesia's got like 12 sequels, I think Soma is still their best work. That game was incredible. Like, it had a really good story as well, but just the setting of it, and like the environments looked fucking gorgeous, and it, as I say, everything was just so impressive and intimidating and suffocating as a result of being set under the sea like it was. It was really cool. There's also a game, Hydrophobia, which I don't think anyone's heard of. It was on Xbox 360 on the I think it was a digital only game as far as I recall. And I believe it was it was a game that was just chapter 1 and it was meant to continue as like a series, but it never got the series because, you know, no one fucking played it. But that was a pretty cool game. It was, you know, it wasn't like a classic horror game. How do I get that, man? It was like a action adventure sort of thing, but again, you were like in an underwater city sort of place. And basically the entire place, the setting was that the entire place was starting to cave in and it was flooding from within, and you had to sort of like the scenes on the Titanic where you're running along corridors fleeing from water pouring in and stuff. It was very cool. It was a very cool game. From what I remember, it's been many years since I played it, but I like that. And obviously, if you're talking about underwater games, you can't not mention BioShock, which is like the bar for narrative storytelling in video games, as far as I'm concerned, even to this day. And also just a really fun game. I've played both of the original BioShocks on this channel, if you're interested. I can't speak for the quality of them. I think I had an even worse microphone back then than I have now. But they are here. They are here if you're interested. God. Like, thinking about it, BioShock was the first game I played on this channel. I think that was 2016? Maybe it was 2017. 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. Which means I've been doing this, you know, fairly regularly. There have been a few times where I've taken breaks for various reasons, but I have been keeping semi-regular uploads going on this channel for like 6 to 7 years at this point, and that's fucking nuts, man. This is my first time really just stopping and sort of taking stock of that. I have noticed I've got like over 1,000 videos uploaded, which for someone who, you know, doesn't do this professionally, it's always just been a hobbyist thing for me, just something to do with my time, and just an opportunity to just chat some shit, realistically, just talk about games and play games and encourage myself to play games more, because I definitely don't a great deal outside of doing this. But yeah, for someone who isn't making money off this, I think that's a pretty impressive total. I have no real incentive to do it, but I just do for the love of the sport, so to speak. You can call that purity, if you like. You can call that the most integrity anyone on YouTube has, if you want to be really generous. I don't mind. I don't mind if you say those things about me. I will take that happily. As I say, it's never been my goal to be a big YouTuber, to be a PewDiePie or whoever the big YouTuber is these days. Mr. Beast, is he the one everyone likes? I don't know. I've never cared about that shit. Like I just want to play some games, man. I just want to play some games on the internet. Is that so wrong? There's a spirit over there. With a completely unnecessary ramp thing up to it. Crab! I like crabs. Crabs are cool. They're basically like sea spiders, which is, you know, a surefire way to put people off them, I suppose. Spiders aren't the most popular animals in the world. But, no, I really like them. I really like crabs. I think they're cool as hell. I don't know if you can keep crabs as pets. I would definitely have crabs as pets. If that was a thing. Much more interesting than just like fish or whatever. Although I suppose they probably eat some... They're probably quite expensive to keep, right? I imagine they have quite an expensive diet. That you have to feed them like fish chunks, I imagine, right? Isn't that what they eat? They just like rip up fish and eat them? Kinda brutal, really. This area's really something. Can I stand behind this pillar and be fine? Yeah, cool. Not quite as scary as it looks then, is it? Oh, really? Really? Okay. Guess I go over there then? Oh, I'm alive. I found the crab notch. Wait, hang on. Can I pet the crab? I can pet the crab. Okay, forget all other games. Forget all other games. This is the game. This is the one game. It lets you pet the crab. What more could we possibly, as gamers, what more could we possibly ask for, right? Forget Starfield, forget Baldur's Gate 3, both of them pale in comparison to petting the crab. Can we pet the manta ray? When did I rescue a manta ray? That wasn't in this area, right? I must have done that a while ago. Also, are they manta rays or are they stingrays, and what is the difference? I have so many questions. So many questions and so few answers. Yeah, this section is honestly just more fun than the other sections as well. Just because you've got these big jumps on you, it just feels good to be going that far and that fast. It's just, you know, it's freeing. You know, the character has a lot of powerful movement options anyway, so it's not like she's limited at the best of times, but like, this does, you just become like a fucking torpedo going through the sea, and I like that a lot. You're killable. Although not worth a memory. That's a shame. Truly a Oh dear. This could be scary. But there's a spirit in here somewhere, isn't there? Not according to my sing-song. Can we just, like, skip right down to here? We can. Cool. We're heading for that archway for sure. I know an archway that we're heading for when I see one. Oh, there's a memory. Right? Yeah. Oh, what? They're going the other way. Plot twist. That honestly wasn't a memory. Like, actually literally wasn't a memory. That is so surprising. That was the least expected thing I've ever seen. I'm going for it. I'm regretting it. Oh no, I'm fine. The fan doesn't even reach this area. Is that a spirit just there? In that toilet? Alright. Thanks, I guess. It's a bit of a freebie, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit patronising. just put it there, right in front of me. We've not had a single tower, single checkpoint tower in this entire area. I think this might be the spirit though. I think we might be finding Shark Boy. Or are we just going deeper? Have we just unlocked another level of aquatic zone? Or is it just going to be like the polar bear where it's right in front of me? Answer my questions after us. Load already. Oh yeah, whole other level. We're at the bottom of the sea now, instead of the middle of the sea, I guess. Well, we did just save on that very long loading screen, so I guess this is as good a time as any to wrap up for the day. We're gonna save the shark today. Next time. You can bet your ass on that. Definitely not today though. Definitely not today. Definitely next time. And I'll see you for that. Bye.